Hello and welcome to the look ahead for Monday, the 13th of November with me, Fiona Cincotta, Senior Market Analyst at City Index. So jumping straight in with earnings, there's no major earnings that we'll be watching out for on Monday. And even the economic calendar is relatively quiet. One notable release will be from the European Commission as they update their growth forecasts for this year and next. If we just think back to September, when we had the last revision, the European Commission downwardly revised GDP forecast for 2023 to 0.8% from 1%, and also the 2024 outlook to 1.4% from 1.7%. Now, if we just think about what's been happening in as far as data is concerned, since then we've seen PMI figures from the Eurozone have been depressed and broadly weaker than expected. Also, GDP data for the Eurozone economy was also weaker than expected, contracting 0.1% in the third quarter. So I think another downward revision from the European Commission wouldn't be necessarily a surprise. What's interesting is if we have a look at how this is all being reflected in the indices. Now, the DAX, we've seen that it's actually rebounded off that low of 14,600 at the end of October. And the improved sentiment towards equities is basically from the narrative that central banks are expected to be at peak interest rates, or if not at peak interest rates, very close to peak rates. And that's given a resurgence in demand for equities, both in Europe and in the US. Now, we've seen that rebound, as I said, from 14,600. It's just testing resistance at that falling trend line, which dates back to mid-July, and also the 50 SMA at 15,300. If we can get a rise above that 15,300, that will bring in support around that 15,600, the October high, and then also the 200 SMA, which is in around 15,650. If we don't get that move above resistance, that trend line resistance, which, as I said, has been in place now for a couple of months, then we could see the price look to test the 15,000 level before heading back down towards 14,600. A break below that level would create a lower low. Just quickly back to what else we'll be watching on Monday. As I said, economic calendar pretty quiet, but there will be also some commentary from Catherine Mann from the Bank of England. Now, we've had a couple of Bank of England speakers in focus this week. We had Governor Andrew Bailey and also Hugh Pill, chief economist, who both reiterated the idea that interest rates should stay higher for an extended period of time. Question is, what is an extended period of time? We also had UK GDP data coming today. It was actually slightly better than expected at 0%, if you can say 0% is better than expected. So, the sign of the economy is stagnating here in the UK, and I don't think this data is going to do much to quell concerns of the UK economy moving into a downturn in the second part of this year, or at least in the final quarter of this year. Now, how's this all been playing out in the pound? Let's have a look at the GBP USD chart here. We can see again, the pound has ran into resistance at the 200 SMA this week. We did at the end of last week, as we saw the US dollar strengthen. Now, I've seen a reversal of that this week. It failed to rise above the 200 SMA. We've seen some dollar strength on the more hawkish tone from Federal Reserve speakers. And also amid concerns, I think, over the health of the UK economy and the outlook for the UK economy. So the pound US dollar rebounded lower from that 200 SMA, taking out the October high. And it's just currently testing support at the 20 SMA around that 122 level. Now, if we do get a break below that level, then I think we'll be looking for support at 121, and that was the November low. A breakdown there brings in 120.40, which was the October low. if that SMA 2020 SMA does hold, then I think we could see the price look back up towards that 200 SMA. But I think, you know, we really do need a rise above that level there, which is at 124.30, to create a higher high and for the bulls to get a little bit more momentum behind them. If you like what you've been watching, then please give this video a like and also follow for more videos like it. Thanks very much and have a great weekend.